Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Make sure my mic is working. All right, y'all. I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. This y'all shorty Rachel. Let's talk about it, y'all. So today we're gonna be talking about Michael Rainey. You know, the famous actor from Power. Y'all have seen him on Stars and stuff like that. Now, the topic is right. Men should be able to speak up too. So Michael Rainey has, recently went through something. I think he was yesterday doing a live with somebody on Twitch, apparently. Shout out to Lovely T. She came out with the news. I will be playing her video after this news clip that I'm gonna play. And like I've said time after time, men should be able to speak up. They should be able to, tell their story the same way that us females speak up and tell our story, right? What's crazy is, right, when a man gets groped, when a man gets sexually assaulted, it doesn't get talked about. It gets turned down. People turn, their face on, like they give a blind eye to it, right? Basically, they don't give as much of an importance to it as they do if a woman was to get sexually assaulted. And I think that's wrong, right? If a woman sits here and gropes a man, sexually assaults a man, or anything like that, the woman should be able to pay the consequences the same way that a man does. Because the same way that a man does these things out here, that are women that do it the same way, probably worse. Man, listen, man, I'm trying to be as nice as I can so I don't offend nobody, because I think a lot of women think in their head, oh, I'm a woman, I can get away with this. It's not wrong. It is very wrong. A man feels just as offended, just as disgusted, just as grossed out as a woman does when she's touched without being wanted to be touched, when she's forced to do something that she doesn't want to do. Why is it that a woman can get away with it and a man can't? Right? And I'm not saying that it should be right. What I am trying to say is, right, that I am tired of hearing, oh, that a woman should get off easy, that nothing should happen to a woman if she does the same thing that a man does to a woman. Let's check this news clip out, y'all. I want y'all to hear this, and I want y'all to, let me know what y'all think. I want to hear y'all opinions, y'all perspectives, right?
And thank you for staying up late with us. We have a great program planned for you and some great guests tonight here on The Factor Uncensored. Let's get right down to business. This is an important reminder tonight. Men can also be victims of sexual assault, in case you didn't know. An actress.
And I don't get tired of saying it. You know what I think is messed up? I think that it's messed up that when a man speaks up and says, I've been through this, he gets put down, he gets dragged. Oh, a man can't go through this. A man shouldn't feel ashamed. Why not? You sat here and put your claws on this man without asking him for his consent. You sat here, touched a man's private part without asking him for his consent. So if a woman doesn't feel comfortable, what makes y'all think that a man doesn't? I mean, it's time to really speak about this, bro. Like, men should stay shut if a woman sits here and forcibly puts herself on a man, if she forcibly puts her hands on his privates, if she sits here, puts her hand inside his shirt and, caresses all over. Like, lady, you don't even know he wants you to touch him, to kiss him, to even breathe on him. Like, yo, let's keep listening. Let's keep listening. I'm going to talk right after it.
Says he's still processing what happened to him after a woman grabbed him inappropriately on a live stream. This happened Sunday on a Twitch live stream for an influencer named Ty Ty Jones. Actor Michael Rainey Jr., who is from Power, can be seen in the background when a woman who has been identified as James' sister walks up to him and appears to grab him.
Look at his face. He's uncomfortable. Just because he's a man, it's okay, huh? So now we just gonna be diddying the shit out of men, huh? Just because he's a man, it's okay. oh, fuck it, I'm a woman. I could just diddy this man anytime I want. I could just tell him, take it, take it, take it, take it. It don't work like that. I'm a mother of 2 boys and 1 daughter. In the same way I want protection for my daughter, I want that protection for my sons. And I dare a woman to touch my son and make him feel uncomfortable like that. Like, they should be able to be, feel comfortable by a woman touching them, not uncomfortable. Not feel like they should have to turn around and smack an itch.
By the private area. You can see it on Rainey's face. He looked very uncomfortable by the encounter. Today, he released a statement saying he's in shock and that, quote, sexual assault is never okay regardless of gender or status. We're all human and we should respect each other. Most importantly, we should respect ourselves. Joining us to talk about it.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, you could tell this young lady has no respect for him. Shout out, this young man is 23 years old. He's been acting mostly on the what is it called, Power book series, Stars and stuff like that. I gotta sit here and I gotta give him props because of the way he handled the situation. Another young man, this situation would have went another way. Here's my thing, right? In my opinion, he should press charges. He should press charges because, let's put it like this. If it was the other way around and he would have did this to that young lady, they would have been on this young lady's head, in this young lady's head, telling her, press charges. What he did wasn't right. What he did was inappropriate. What he did was wrong. What he did was violate you. What he did was that. So it's not okay for him to press charges? Is that what y'all telling me as men and women out here? That's what y'all telling the shorty, right? That he should just be okay with it. The girl said, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to go here and do this without your consent. And I'm going to get away with it because I'm a woman. Nah. See, I'm with the woman empowerment. But a lot of women is using the woman empowerment for the wrong shit. I'm not with that. I got 2 sons that are going to grow into men. And these type of topics I will speak on. They have to be talked about. And I would love to hear more men speak on these topics. We need more men. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Shout out to Nate the Great Podcast. Shout out to The Word. Yo, y'all got to check The Word out. Shout out to The Word. Shout out to all the men that are on here. Shout out to Papa Duck that are sitting here and are speaking to these young men and are trying to reach these young men. Because whether y'all like it or not, young men are going through the same thing that our young women are going through. But they have to keep it shut. There are grown men out here that don't want to speak on their stories because of how they've seen these other men that have been willing to speak up on their stories be dragged, put down, talked about. Why? Let's be real about this shit.
Trauma therapist Chow Win. So, Chow, when you took a look at that video, what went through your mind?
Well, the reaction on his face, the disbelief, and the freezing, that's considered a trauma response. We either fight, flight, freeze, we fawn, and it looked like he was freezing. He didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
He was touched inappropriately. That is sexual violence. And men are victimized by sex.
She said sexual violence. No, sexual assault, yes. But sexual violence, I mean, she didn't beat him down. She didn't, sexual assault, yes. She touched him without his consent. She touched his private area. And before she touched his private area, she went and put her hand inside his shirt and caressed his whole chest and belly, I guess. Like, you could tell how uncomfortable young boy was. Like, man, women, y'all need to stop this because, when it's turning, it's done to y'all. Y'all want to scream all types of things, and the man gotta get locked up. He's not locked up, y'all not happy. Too many of our innocent men in jail right now, right? While there are men out here that belong behind bars, screw that. We need to be building caskets for them, especially women. But y'all, I could really go deep into this, but I gotta watch what I say on YouTube.
Sexual violence as well. 1 in 4, they say, in their lifetime. It's a spectrum. It can be anything from touching to penetration.
And so how do you make the public and people in general take that seriously? Because you think of a male, you should be able to handle it. You should be able to walk away or confront the person and say, don't do it again. But there should be
recourse. There should be accountability. Look, when a man is touched inappropriately, and we live in a culture that says men have to man up, and there's this issue that, men should be the strong one, it creates a lot of shame and stigma. A lot of men don't even speak up about being sexually violated or a victim of sexual violence because of the cultural stigma and shame around the message that, oh, if you're going to be sexually assaulted as a man, it's okay because you're a man, or you should have spoken out or gotten tough. I mean, we do see these cases. Men are victims of violence.
You know what's crazy? When the men do speak up right there. What if, let's call him Tyreek, like in Power, right? What is Tyreek, right? Since everybody knows him as Tyreek and not Michael Rainey, let's call him Tyreek. So what if at that moment Tyreek would have just pushed her, right? Pushed her and said, "Itch, what you think you doing? Why is you touching me like that?" Was he wrong for doing that? Would he have been wrong for doing that? Right? What if he would have just shoved her and just started ramming and talking all this to her, call her all types of thoughts, holes, itches, and all this? No, he wouldn't have been wrong. In my opinion, he wouldn't have been wrong because she shouldn't have been violating him the way she did. What gave you the right to sit here? Is you his girl? Is you his wife? To sit here and just put your hands inside her shirt and touch his privates at once? What gives you the right? I need some water.
They do.
And before, right, I let her keep talking. Like, I know this is a tough subject. I know a lot of people don't want to speak on it. A lot of people are scared to speak on it. But like I've said time after time, I would love to hear a lot of men speak on these topics. It's early in the morning, and this is a topic that does need to be talked about. So, whether y'all join my live or y'all don't join my live, hopefully I can see, a YouTuber, a podcaster that is a male, bringing awareness towards this, right? Hopefully we can get more men speaking to our young men about these type of situations. Me as a woman, personally, I feel that the men should have the right to speak up, tell their story without getting judged, without getting dragged, and without being put down. They should be listened to just as the women are. We should take, their cases serious, just as a, sexual assault case is taken on a woman. Why? Because he's a man. But my thing is, if he does step up, right, and smack the shit out the itch, he will go to jail. If he does step up and does something, he's wrong. He's the evil guy. But the women could do it all day, all the time. Especially the women that don't go through it, that just want to get revenge, want to be mad at a man and put him in jail. They could do that all day. Scream, shout from the top of their lungs, believe all women. Because of women that, sit here and scream rape and scream molestation, scream abuse when it's not done, the women that do go through it get overseen. They don't get looked at. They don't even get believed. Men go through the same shit, and this is why I'm doing this live. I want y'all to really see, and I'm talking like this because I'm passionate about this. Yo, I would dare a bitch to try my son. Sorry to say it like that, because they're not women. They're not women.
Come forward, and when they come forward, they often say, "Are you sure I can talk about it? Are you sure I can address it?" Because they're embarrassed. They don't know what to say. They freeze.
And when you have a case like this, when initially the one who held the live stream online, he was like, what's the big deal? Obviously, it was his sister. What's the big deal? I don't see what the problem is. He walked that back later and said he would never condone anything like that. And a lot of people are like, what's the big deal?
What's the big deal? What's the big deal is somebody touched somebody else without his consent. We have to do a better job of talking about consent.
Yeah, and then the crazy part about it, she was so comfortable to do this in a room with kids. There were minors in that room. That girl was comfortable enough to do this with minors in the room. That leaves you to think what goes on in that household. You did this on social media, on live, with hundreds, millions of viewers watching. people do the outlandish things and then want to sit here and say, oh, why are you judging me? Why are you criticizing me? Well, why did you do this? People want people to take accountability for an opinion, but can't take accountability for their behavior. That right there is what screws with my head. Like, okay, but I guess.
Right? Is this is my body, this is your body. You're not allowed to touch it without my permission.
Facts.
And it's unfortunate that his initial reaction was, what's the big deal? That is, to me, an imprint, a reflection on sort of the cultural stereotypes when it comes to men and women and sexual violence.
And of course, you have that double standard there, because people would have been up in arms if it was a female, you know, if she was grabbed in a private area like that.
If she was a female, if that was a female that was grabbed, we're probably going to bring the police in. Here we're talking about it, and I'm glad you're giving people.
And that's what I was trying to say. If it was a woman, he would have been behind bars. The cops would have been here. This would have went to trial probably. Probably not even make it to trial. He would have been behind bars without even going to trial. Oh, this was on a live. We got proof. He's going down. But since it was her, since it was a woman, it's okay. Me as a woman, me as a mother of 2 sons, no, this is not okay. But I would love to hear what his mom has to say, because if you know about him, his mom doesn't play with her son the same way I don't play with my sons. Don't play with my sons, yo. Like, boy, I'm building caskets up in this joint. I'm telling you right now.
A platform to talk about it, but you're right, the standards are not the same, they're not equal. She might have been, the police might have called, there was an investigation. Here it's like, and the poor actor, what did he say? I'm still processing it. He's still in shock. He froze. And he might have to suffer the ramifications because it went so public. I mean, listen, the aftermath of sexual violence is the same for men and women. PTSD, anxiety, depression, avoiding places, flashbacks, nightmares. Can you imagine having to live with a lifetime of that? If you're a man, it doesn't matter.
And do we think the definition matches the term? I think a lot of people lose it there, because if you just touch someone, then you say that's sexual assault.
Right.
And I said just, but if you touch someone, they'll say that's sexual assault. When I think of sexual assault, and when many of us think of sexual assault, and you hear it, you think of rape or something like that, not touching someone. Do you think that's part of the problem?
It is, and this is an opportunity to continue to educate people about sexual assault. It's a spectrum. It starts with touching, it ends at rape, and anybody can be a victim of sexual assault. Sexual violence is an act that is performed without your consent.
And is it?
Yeah, it is. It starts with touching, it ends up at rape. And before the touching starts, the people look. Listen, they touch what they want, right? So you got to pay attention to them eyes too, because there's a lot of predators around. Look, listen, man, pay attention to your circle. Just because it's your circle doesn't mean that everybody in your circle is with you. They may be riding with you, but they're not with you.
Part of our problem as men who say, look, you should be able to handle that, chin up.
It is the cultural stereotype of masculinity and what we call toxic masculinity. Man up, do this. We've got to do a better job of talking about this at a very young age, talking about healthy behaviors and how we treat each other. Like that actor said, just as human beings, equal respect.
And a lot of fathers and mothers have this conversation with their daughters. Do you think it's something that now should include their sons?
It should have included their sons long ago.
Facts. Yo, listen, man, I'm glad they just said that. I talk to my boys all the time. I talk to them. I have every conversation with them. One is 14. The other one's not here no more. But when he was here, we talked about everything. The other one's 17. He's with his aunt in Virginia. He's doing better than what he was doing here in Philadelphia, and I'm glad for that. So it's kind of like, we got to have these talks with them at a young age, regardless of anything. And our kids are hard-headed, right? Sometimes you'll tell them not to do this, and they'll go and do it. We still have to do these we still have to have these conversations with them, regardless, whether you think they're listening to you or not, yo. And that's the problem, that there is no communication between kids and their parents nowadays. So shout out to all them parents out here that actually do have that type of communication with their kids. They're not ashamed of talking to their kids. They're not ashamed of having story time with them, explaining to them everything that's happening. And what I mean by story time, like, listen, man, when I was young, let me tell you a story about what happened to me. You know, like that. Like, yo, there's a lot of parents that are ashamed, that think their kids are not ready for that type of conversation. Well, then how is you getting them ready for this world? Can I please ask that question? How is you getting your child ready for this world? Is it just a phone? Is it just that? You're not having no type of convos with them. Like, what should you do when, you get in a relationship? What should happen? What you need to do when you're married, how to keep up with your house, at least some type of advice. You see where I'm coming from? Like, I don't know, maybe to each his own, but look, listen, man, it needs to be done.
We know historically it has not.
It hasn't, and it continues to.
Blessings. Good morning, Miss April Showers. How you doing? Blessings, Miss April. If y'all haven't checked Miss April Showers out, make sure y'all do, please. Miss April Showers, Young Reyes, can y'all leave y'all links in the chat? Anybody that's interested, they do got panels. These are 2 content creators in the chat right now that y'all could go check out. Young Reyes, he's into his music and stuff like that. Let's bring awareness to the autism. Young Reyes is showing everybody that autism does not bring you down. It does not determine who he is. And Miss April Showers, yo, she is a queen in of her own. Like, she fights for our kids, y'all. Y'all need to go check out Miss April Showers. She has an interesting channel. Like, go check her out, y'all. Like, she is somebody that does speak up for our kids.
Not, but we've got to talk to girls, just as we talk to girls about taking care of their bodies and protecting their bodies. We have to talk to boys.
Yep, we do. We have to talk to our boys about everything. Like, listen, man, a lot of single mothers have had to sit here and take on the task of, not having the father there. So they have to talk to their sons about sex, about their private parts, how to wash up, how to clean up after themselves, how to do this, how to do that, how to, like, sometimes even tell them, like, listen, man, go shave your face. Like, when they're teenagers and stuff. Listen, man. Like, we cannot be ashamed, embarrassed, or scared to speak to our kids. If you are, there's something's wrong. Something is really wrong if you are ashamed, embarrassed, or scared to speak to your child about a daily routine, everyday life.
About the same thing, because by and large, it's happening.
Now, if you're caught in a situation like this, child, that we saw Michael Rainey in this incident, how would you handle that if you were Michael Rainey?
I think he handled it the best he can, which is being forthcoming.
Once you have your bearings, put it that.
Yeah, listen, man. For a young man that's 23 years old, Michael Rainey, aka Tariq from Power, right? Handled the situation like a G, like a man. He didn't sit here, he didn't snap on the shorty, he didn't push the shorty, he didn't cuss the shorty out. No, he just stood there. Like, even though he was uncomfortable, he didn't even react in a, how can I say it, malicious way. Nah, the shorty was acting in a malicious way. She's here touching what she shouldn't be touching. Boy, look, man, listen, I'm telling you, man, I'm Griselda Blanco when it comes to my kids, and I don't have different personalities. I'm not schizophrenic. I don't think I'm this person. I'm just saying, listen, man, you see what Griselda Blanco did, right? Well, just picture Griselda Blanco. I could turn just like that in a matter of fucking seconds when it comes to my kids. I will fight for my kids. I will die for my kids. I keep saying that. I'll give my last breath for my kids. There's nothing in this world I will not do for my kids, yo. Like, if I would have been there and I seen a shorty do that shit, and I know that my son's not going to sit here and get out of character, yo, I'm going to handle the shorty. Excuse me, 911, come get this right here because I'm about to whoop hot for doing what she shouldn't have did to my child. Like, yo, listen, man, you're not getting this. Like, yo. I would have beat the crap out of that shorty right there and then while I am talking to the police.
That way. And you're not shocked anymore.
Right.
That person is still there, still being aggressive. How would you handle that?
Oh, to say no, you mean, in that moment? You know, he froze. It's a trauma response. That's what his limbic system went into. He didn't do anything wrong. He did come back and say, look, it's wrong. I'm not sure if he could have done anything more than he did.
Exactly. It's like the world was expecting for him to have a bad reaction, for him to smack her or, say, yo, get off of me. Don't, no, the bull froze. He wasn't expecting that. Nobody is expecting to be touched. Nobody is expecting for somebody to sit here and say some fly shit out their mouth to somebody. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. It's like, yo, I'm not expecting this from nobody. So, like, yeah, when it does happen, it's normal. It's like people was expecting for boy, like, no, I don't even think he knew how to react. Like, oh, wait, I gotta, Nah, it's like in his head, he was trying to process what to do or how to handle the situation. A lot of men would sit here like, fuck it, I want a female to touch me. But see, a lot of men respect themselves. I'm not for every woman. I'm not for everybody. And I've heard, yo, shout out to the men out here that are, real men out here. Shout out to them real women that are real women out here. And they don't give a fuck if anybody says anything about them, yo. It's how you carry yourself. That's what makes you real. How you carry yourself, how you deal and handle certain situations. See, people got the concept wrong.
That he was just shocked. And we see that very often. There's one other point I want to make, and people get so confused about this. Look, sexual violence also creates sexual arousal. That doesn't mean you wanted it. Mm-hmm. It means your body says, oh, I'm aroused. And it gets very confusing for men who may get aroused because they've been sexually violated. Even for women, we see that. So we've got to do a better job of just educating our public that just because you were sexually aroused or you froze and you didn't do anything doesn't mean that was consent.
All right, Chow Win, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored tonight. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
All right. So that was the news clip, right? Now let's go over here. I'm about to show y'all real quick. So Lovely T actually bought this out earlier. Let me go over here because I was watching Lovely T, and that's what made me look for the article. Like, oh shit, what happened? And I'm like, they even got a news article on this? You don't really see this on the news article. So hold on. One second while I get the video. You ready? All right. So I was watching Lovely T this morning. Here we go. And this is her input. Yo, Lovely T feels the same way as I do. I don't know about y'all moms, but I would love to hear y'all moms' opinions. If a woman did this to y'all son, what would be y'all reaction? Men, if a woman touched you without your consent, what would be your reaction? Do you know what your reaction would be as a man? Or, would you speak on your story? Like, would you, because you don't expect for people to do this shit to you. Like, you just here minding your business or doing what you got to do. And then out of nowhere, these things happen. Like, no, you don't expect it.
Y'all get ready? Yes, you get ready. It's the Lovely T TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes.
With you, I've never seen this guy that's going viral. Monday, hope you guys are doing good today. So we have to talk about this situation that's going viral all over social media. And as a boy's mom, it definitely pisses me off.
Yes.
So if you guys don't know, there's a young man, he's a streamer. And let me be honest.
So that's why I'm asking a lot of you mothers, right, that have sons and stuff like that. If a situation like this was to happen to your son, how would you feel? What would your reaction be? How would you handle the situation? I love the way that Michael Rainey, aka Tariq, handled the situation. I would love to hear, his mom's response, because this is a topic that does need to be talked about. It happens constantly, especially here in the hood. It's not my first time talking about it. Like maybe a month or 2 months ago, I can't remember exactly how long ago it was, but it was recently. Like I talked about it here on YouTube about how these little girls are fast. They're coming, to these little boys doing this, saying this. Like, yo, they too fast. These little girls are being real fast. They're offering themselves to these boys, basically. And like, where are the parents at? Like, these are conversations that I do constantly have, especially on other podcasts. So shout out to them, YouTubers that bring these type of topics, and we can actually try to bring resolutions to the table. We can't change the world in one day, but we sure as hell can try to make a difference little by little. Let's listen to what Lovely T has to say.
Honest with you, I've never seen this guy before. Again, I'm a little bit older, so I'm not into the streamers. The only ones I really know is Kai Cenat and then the crazy white boy. I forget his name. But there's another guy here. His name is Ty James. And so a video went viral of him. He's in a room. There's a bunch of little kids there. I guess his homeboys are there. But then Michael Rainey's there. Michael Rainey is a well-known actor. We all know Michael Rainey Jr. From the show Power. He was also in Power Book 2, Ghost. And so he's a very popular actor. And so he decided to go on stream with this clique. And the young man, Tail, aka Tatai, his sister's name is Jagi. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But as the video goes on, she starts grabbing on Michael Rainey. And he clearly looks very, very extremely uncomfortable. Chinese Kitty is there as well. I'm not sure why she's there, but she's there also. And so the whole thing is just really disturbing. And so she's just acting out. She's grabbing him. Then she ends up saying something about a banana, and that ends up being like the final straw where they put her out of the room. So I want you guys to watch these two clips. I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Everybody in here has worked a job that has more than $1 million. Y'all have never worked, y'all never did nothing. Y'all literally have 5 minutes of max in here. Then y'all gotta get
Y'all
out,
can
okay?
see how uncomfortable Tyreek is, yo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at his face.
They've never worked. You gotta think. They've never worked a job, but they can play with us. Yo, anybody need water? No, we go.
No, paper towels for them. Paper towels.
Shut the fuck up. Chat, word of my mother, I'm trying to literally ignore this shit. But I'm getting texts, the energy shifted, and niggas just got up and left. Like, all that shit really made me, like, all those side of that shit really made me feel away. Because when people come, this is your crib. It's about hospitality. That means everything. Stop telling me to ignore it, because I was trying to ignore it. Y'all dick riders was spamming. Ladies in a relationship with Donald Trump, clip that. My next girlfriend's gonna be Kylie Jenner, clip that. We got 54,000 views. I'm doing anything for clout. I'm trying to go viral. This Chinese
Let me make you go viral. You got a banana?
Oh.
It wasn't me. That was her.
Get out.
I can fuck up.
Yo, bro. She got a lot back in here. Fuck.
You got a lot back in.
Shanique, Ma. You gotta
Yo.
All right, so you guys.
All right. So we got to go back. So y'all seen that, right? We're going to go to the beginning. Like, this is crazy. You can see how uncomfortable Tyreek was. Like, this is crazy. As a mother, I would, all mothers out here, I would love to get y'all opinions. You got sons, right? If a woman was to do this to your son, right? Whether he's, 21, 22, or 23, but you know that your son is, let's practically say you're raising him to be a gentleman, and he's actually being a gentleman in these streets. He's, not somebody that's getting in trouble. You don't get, how can I say it? People calling you, telling you he's doing this or doing that, blah, 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 blah. And he treats girls right. And a girl made your son feel this uncomfortable on a live stream. I mean, he had no other option. Shit, I've laughed too on certain situations where I'm like, yo, how do I deal with this shit? Like, damn, I want to say some fly shit, but if I do, everybody gonna think I'm the fucking villain. Like, yo, I've been in that situation. I've been there. And all I could do is just sit here and giggle like, yo, bro, like, do I say? What do I say? How do I, what the just happened? Like, yo.
Yeah, I literally have.
Look at him.
5 minutes of max.
Look how he's moving around, trying to get away from her. Look.
5 minutes. You know how much 5 minutes?
He's trying to move away from the shorty.
Yeah.
They've never
without making look.
They've never.
She put his hands inside his shirt first, then went down and grabbed his privates. Like young boy was frozen, like yo, and he's still like he went on a whole thing talking about he's still trying to like analyze this shit. He's trying to like, damn, shorty, what? Like, do you even know if he got a girl or not? Like, he didn't even know how to react. Like, all he could do is laugh. And I know there's been a lot of young men in this situation. I know there's been a lot of men in this situation. How many of y'all ladies have been in this situation? Oh, my bad. A lot of women scream abuse. A lot would sit here and be like, yo, boom, 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 and they resolve this shit. But obviously, he didn't want to be touched.
Work a job, but they can play with us. Yo, anybody need water? Anybody need water? Let me go.
Yo, paper towels with them. Paper towels.
And let's not leave out the part where shorty, there's kids in the room. Look at them little kids, and she was behind them trying to do this shit. Like, do y'all do this when the cameras are off? Would you do these type of things in front of your siblings, in front of other kids? I mean, listen, man, that's what I'm saying. Shit like this needs to be talked about. Do y'all know what y'all kids be doing out here on these streets? Because the shit that I be hearing, that my son and his friends be seeing, and they be seeing, they have to fucking like, whoa, let me get the fuck out of here. Do y'all know what these kids be doing out here and getting into out here before they even hit the age of 18 and 21? Let's be real. I don't think nobody's ready for that conversation. Nobody's ready for that subject. Nobody's ready for that topic.
Shut the fuck up. Chat, word of my mother, I'm trying to literally ignore this shit. But I'm getting texts. The energy shifted and niggas just got up and left. Like, all that shit really made me, like, all those side of that shit really made me feel away. Because when people come, this is your crib. It's about hospitality. That means everything. Stop telling me to ignore it, because I was trying to ignore it. Y'all dick riders was spanking. Ladies in a relationship with Donald Trump, clip that. My next girlfriend's gonna be Kylie Jenner, clip that. We got 54,000 views. I'm doing anything for clout. I'm trying to go viral. Just trying to see.
Let me make you go viral. You got a banana?
Yo.
It wasn't me. That was
Get out! Get out!
I can fuck up.
Yo, bro. She's not allowed back in. Fuck! She's not allowed back in. Shanique, Ma!
You gotta
Get her up.
All right, so you guys just saw that clip. Now, I take a lot of things away from this. First and foremost, his sister's way too fucking comfortable. That's not her first time doing that, and I would not.
His sister's way too fast. And as we know it, like right here in the hood, is a lot of fast little girls that throw themselves out to these little boys and then want to sit here and want to blame the boy for it all. No. When is we going to teach our kids to learn how to take accountability? To learn how to take responsibility, to admit to the truth. Oh, wait, the parents got to learn first, right? Rachel, you're going too fast. You got to take a step back. Oh, my bad. Let me listen to what you got to say, Lovely T.
I'd be surprised if she was doing that to all of those young men in the room, or has done it to all of them at one point in time. Second of all, what's very bothersome is that there are little girls in the room, and one appears to be about maybe 3 to 4 years old. So now I have to question what is going on in that household where a young girl feels like it's okay to grope somebody. And then the brother's response to me was disgusting. His response was very flippant, dismissive, and almost, accusing the audience of overreacting. So I want you guys to listen to what Ty has to say about the situation right here.
That shit really got me really feeling away, because, bro, I be around celebrities all day. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even when I first started being my first few celebrities, don't get me wrong, I do unusual shit. No homo, like nothing crazy. Like, I'd be like, yo, like, I'd be trying to record, get a video, a picture, whatever. But due time, you feel what I'm saying? That shit don't really mean nothing to me. We all equal, we all the same. But she never seen somebody that caliber. But she never seen somebody that caliber. So she start You feel what I'm saying? And that's my sister. So like I'm not gonna say anything bad about him. I'm gonna just check and tell her like you don't gotta be on it. We all the same, we all human. If he's here for me, he's here for you. Family Sunday dinner should every
Yo, it's crazy how he just went and doubled down on it. Hold on. I gotta hit this. I gotta rewind this back. I gotta listen to him better. I'm sorry. Like he doubled down on what he just says. He just like in the beginning, he was like, why is everybody so dead or blah 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 blah. Okay. But now he's apologizing. And I think it's like Lovely T said, because TMZ got a hold of it, and now this John is really going viral. He has to say something. It's not right though. It leaves you thinking, what is going on, behind them closed doors when the cameras are off? Like, do your sister have a habit of doing this stuff, in front of kids while kids are in the room doing things like this? Because she seems like one of these little girls that are out here fast. They don't care. They'll do things in front of everybody. They don't care who's watching. Why? Because that's the behavior they learn.
really from the way because, bro, I be around celebrities all day. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even when I first started being my first few celebrities, don't get me wrong, I do unusual shit. No homo, like nothing crazy. Like, I'd be like, yo, like, I'd be trying to record, get a video, a picture, whatever. But due time, you feel what I'm saying? That shit don't really mean nothing to we all equal, we all the same. But she never seen somebody that caliber. But she never seen somebody that caliber. So she start, you feel what I'm saying?
See, that's the problem, right? He's trying to blame it on the celebrity. He's trying to say that his sister has never seen somebody, that famous, so she couldn't hold herself. She couldn't, restrain herself. So that gives her the right, because she saw a celebrity like that famous. It gives her the right to sit here and put her hands inside his shirt, then go try to grab his penis. That doesn't give her the right. It doesn't matter how famous the person is, man. That's the problem with people. People see celebrities and they go crazy. They go, wow, oh my God. Man, yo, get out of my face with that. Like, you should still be able to fucking act normal. Accordingly, like how you was raised, how you was brought up. If you act ratchet and crazy when you see a celebrity just because he's famous, he got all this money, man, that shows your character. That shows how you was brought up.
And that's my sister. So like I'm not gonna say anything bad about it. I'm gonna just check and tell her like you don't gotta be on it. We all the same, we all human. If he's here for me, he's here for you. Family Sunday dinner should every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I got people telling me you gotta be aware who you have around when these type you come. Why should I? We all equal. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be we all got a mutual agreement and it's about respect.
For real?
Shit got me dumb mad, bro. Like, nothing ever got me more mad than this, bro.
So where was Tyrese?
All right, so you guys just saw that video. His response was very telling. The fact that he's saying that his sister has never been around somebody that caliber, that is bullshit. I don't care if she's around Michael Jordan or Michael Rainey. You keep your hands to yourself.
You know what? You know what's crazy? This is a good video for Kwame Brown to react to, yo. Like, hopefully he does come across the actual clip. I'm gonna leave the news clip on the description box down below for anybody that wants to see it and stuff like that on their own without me, doing my reaction to it. Y'all more than welcome. As soon as I'm done this live, the not the Lovely T link, but the link to the news clip will be left in the description box below for anybody that wishes to grab it. Like, this shit is crazy. Like the lengths that a lot of these girls will go to just to, we need to show our daughters. You know what? It starts with y'all moms. It starts with y'all grandmoms, aunties, and stuff like that. The first role models that they look up to. That's where it starts from. Like, I've heard so many moms look up to Cardi B and saying that my daughter looks up to Cardi B. Well, shouldn't she look up to you? But maybe I'm wrong.
Now, let's say if the genders were reversed, right? Let's say Michael Rainey was groping on the sister and, putting his hands up her shirt. Nobody would excuse that. He'd be ready to whoop Michael Rainey's ass. So the fact that he's trying to excuse his sister and saying, well, she's never been around that type of caliber person, to me is bullshit. That's assault. What she did. She had no business touching on his private area. And we all know that Michael Rainey's mama don't play about him, okay? That's one thing she don't do.
I said that shit earlier, yo. His mama, I seen it in a couple interviews. His mama do not play about her son. The same way I don't play about my boys, guess what? Mama don't play about her son over there. So like I said, I would love to hear a lot of y'all women's opinions, perspectives on this. How would y'all feel? What would y'all do? How would y'all handle the situation? Now, for y'all men, same question applies. What would you do? How would you handle the situation as a man if a woman came and groped you or, sexually assaulted you, which is still in the same category, but how would y'all handle the situation as real men? Me, like I said, in my opinion, shout out to Michael Rainey, aka Tyreek. Like, yo, he handled that situation like a pro. And a lot of young men do not handle that situation like that. Guess what? Behind every action, there's a reaction. Every consequences have, yo.
I think that he should definitely press charges. If the genders were reversed, everybody would be telling the girl to press charges against Michael Rainey. And a lot of people trying to make excuses like, oh, well, he was laughing afterwards. That's called being uncomfortable. And I told you guys about my situation that happened a few years ago when I was taking a picture with some people and somebody's husband felt that it was okay to start feeling on me and grabbing my ass as we're taking the picture. And I'm literally standing between him and his wife. And if you see me in the picture, I look like I'm cringing, but trying to smile. It was extremely uncomfortable. And a lot of times you will kind of laugh to try and play stuff off because you don't even know how to mentally handle it as you're going through it. So sometimes the only thing you can do is try and laugh and play it off. I have been in this situation, and this was definitely very, very triggering. This girl is trash for that. And I don't know how old this girl is. I don't know if she's a little girl. She's, in her 20s, but this behavior is trash. And the way that she felt so comfortable doing that to a celebrity on camera, it wasn't like, this wasn't being filmed. She knew that they were on stream. The fact that she did this lets me know that she's done this before. She gives me predator vibes. And again, people can be predators regardless of your gender, regardless of your religion, your race, any of that stuff. So I'm not feeling this at all. So now that this has gone mainstream, because he had all these excuses for his sister earlier this morning, but now that TMZ are all jumping on this story because Michael Rainey is a pretty big celebrity. So now that the white mainstream media is jumping on this, now he wants to issue an apology. And he just issued this apology about an hour ago. So let me go ahead and read this apology for you guys. He says, after the actions that occurred during my stream last night, I would like to sincerely apologize to Michael and his family for what took place. My little sister was completely wrong and out of line. What she did was very inappropriate and unacceptable. I am truly embarrassed and disgusted by her actions. I completely respect whatever direction Michael wants to go in this situation after watching the clip. I was completely taken aback by what she's done. I will take extreme precautions with future streams to avoid similar issues. I have banned her from participating in future streams. I do not condone any type of assault. So that is what he just wrote. He's clearly trying to distance himself and walk himself back from this situation because now the backlash is starting to get bigger and it's all over Twitter. And to me, it still comes off as very, very insincere because this should have been your response initially. It shouldn't have been, oh, well, my sister's never been around that type of caliber. That is BS. This should have been your response initially. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And the fact that you were trying to defend this foolishness and that you saw nothing wrong with it initially lets me know that either your PR team got on your ass or you're scared to lose your money and your connections. But this is not the same energy you had initially. And this is just insane. And I'm not blaming Ty because, like I said, I've never watched this young man. So I'm not blaming him for his sister's actions. What I am.
But Lovely T, you're not wrong. Your opinion is, listen, man, an opinion is opinion. An opinion is not wrong and it's not right. What you just said is not wrong at all. Like the young girl's behavior is trash. Like no young lady should be throwing herself out to any young man out here or any grown man at all. Like for what? What was the purpose of it? Why? Now, if the scripts were flipped, right, and it was Michael Rainey who did it to the young lady, now we would have seen him arrested, a mugshot, him going viral on every news channel, everybody really talking about him, but not this young lady. So I'm glad that we're actually speaking on this topic because men do get sexually assaulted. Men don't speak up on it. When men do speak up on it, they get put down, they get dragged, memes get made out of them, they get laughed at. Yo, so much shit happens, but when a woman speak up, it's not like that. And I feel as though that, yo, it shouldn't be like that at all. Like, we need to start bringing awareness to this type of topic. Like, everybody knows how I feel about the situation. And Lovely, you're not wrong. Like, you're doing the right thing. I'm glad that you don't just speak on just on like the gossip on the celebrity part. You also bring awareness to, the sexual abuse that happens in the communities and in Hollywood. Like, I'm glad that she brings out awareness on both. So shout out to Lovely T. And I would love to hear more people talk about it. Like I said, leave y'all comments down below. I'm about to end this live. This needs to stop. Like, women, aunties, grandmoms, like, we need to start preparing better female leaders. Like, what happened? Like, these young ladies don't have no real female role models out here. And we're not talking about freaking Cardi B or Meg the Stallion or none of that, yo. We're talking about these real moms out here. Like, these young ladies should be either looking up to their moms, their grandmoms, their aunties, whoever's bringing them up, but not these damn celebrities out here that are teaching them how to twerk. But you know what? The crazy part is a lot of these moms is looking up to celebrities. So it's hard. It's really, really hard to have. So it's really, really, really hard to give, like, a legit, like, how can I say it? A straight opinion, because it's kind of like, once you say something, it'll lead to this and then it'll lead to that because of the way shit is. But yo, man, a lot of y'all moms, shout out to the moms out there. Like, yo, because what's crazy, even though the moms out there, them dads out there that are trying to guide their daughters into the right path, it's not easy when you got moms out there that are not teaching their daughters. And then, they end up making friends with these people's daughters. And then boom, here's where shit goes left. And if y'all understand me, y'all know where I'm coming from. Like, yo, this is crazy. This is reality though. Like, I would love to hear more people speaking on it. Like, should he press charges on the girl? Yeah, he should. Teach her a lesson. I think it's time for men to start doing the same thing. Like, for real. Like, yo, a lot of women want all this equality, right? All this equality. But I thought it was, for working, for doing this, for doing that. It wasn't to sit here and stand up and challenge a man. It wasn't to sit here and take it from a man. It wasn't to sit here and stand up and, doing this. Oh, yo, like, a lot of these females is going left with a lot of this shit. Yes, I'm for women empowerment, but I'm not for women empowerment to do the wrong shit. Because we're fighting to better ourselves and to bring, better young women that are leaders. Then why the hell are we doing these type of things? As women, we need to, guide our girls into. That's why I'm happy here in Philly. They got the Girl Scouts back. They've been back for like the past 2-3 years already. But before that, we didn't have no Girl Scouts. They were completely gone. So I'm glad they're bringing them types of programs, and I can't wait until I hope I can find, I finally get the right people around me to get these grants and funds so that we can get these little community centers up. Like, on one of my lives recently from the past couple of days, you heard these little young bulls say that they would love to have these type of things here in the hood so they could have something to do. These kids don't want to be in these corners selling drugs. Is that they're left doing that so they can make some money, so they could do the things that they want to do, go out, do that, do this. But then in the same process, guess what happens? They end up doing these drugs. We can go deep into these conversations, but guess what? Nobody wants to bring resolutions about these topics. I see this shit every day. Like, I tell people, I have one foot in politics, one foot out in the streets. And I'm not ready to have both feet into politics because I know how the system is. And I still don't know how to get into it to dismantle the system piece by piece. Can it be done? Yes. The question is, how am I going to do it? How can we do it? And I say it like that because I shouldn't be the only one trying to do it. But on that note, I'm about to get off this, John. This live was just, to speak on the Michael Rainey, aka Tyreek situation. A lot more men should speak up. In my opinion, they should be able to speak up without getting judged, without getting ridiculed, without getting made fun of, without being put down. And that's my opinion. I don't know how a lot of y'all women feel. I don't know how a lot of y'all men feel. The description box is down below where y'all can make your own video and upload it to y'all channel. Yo, listen, man, let's talk about this topic because this is something serious, something that we do need to bring awareness to. So on that note, guys, I'm going to end this live. Damn, the mic went off. And I said, on that note, I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day.